There's a quiet process happening inside your body right now that most people over 50 don't think about. And it may be one of the biggest drivers of how you feel, how you age, and how long you stay healthy. It's called chronic inflammation. And unlike the swelling you see around a cut or a sprained ankle, this kind is invisible. It happens at the cellular level, simmering in the background day after day. Scientists now link it to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's, and many cancers. Some researchers have started calling it inflammaging, the idea that chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the primary engines of aging itself. Here's the good news. Your fork is one of the most powerful tools you have to fight it. What you eat, consistently over time, has a profound effect on your body's inflammatory state. And today, we're going to walk through 10 of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods you can eat after 50. Not just what they are, but why they work, how much to aim for, and practical ways to get them into your life. Before we get into the list, a quick word about why this matters more as we get older. In your younger years, your body's inflammatory responses are tightly regulated. They fire up when needed and cool down when the job is done. But after 50, that regulation can become less precise. The immune system ages, stress accumulates, sleep quality often changes, and the balance tips toward a more pro-inflammatory state. Add to that decades of dietary habits, and you can see why this is worth paying attention to. The foods we're about to cover aren't magic. No single food is. But eaten regularly as part of a pattern of eating, they genuinely shift the balance in your favor. Think of each one as a vote for less inflammation. A note before we dive in. If you have existing health conditions or are on medications, it's worth talking with your doctor or a registered dietitian before making significant dietary changes. Some of these foods do interact with certain medications, and personalized guidance is always more valuable than general advice. Let's start with one of the most studied anti-inflammatory foods on the planet, fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and anchovies are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These compounds directly inhibit the production of inflammatory molecules in the body. The research on omega-3s and inflammation is some of the most robust we have. Aim for 2 to 3 servings per week. A serving is about 3 to 4 ounces, roughly the size of your palm. Wild-caught salmon is ideal, but canned salmon and sardines are just as nutritious and far more affordable. Try sardines on whole-grain crackers with a squeeze of lemon. It's a quick, protein-rich lunch that packs a serious anti-inflammatory punch. Turmeric has been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years, and modern science has caught up with a compelling explanation for why. Curcumin. Curcumin is turmeric's main active compound, and it works by blocking several of the molecular pathways that lead to inflammation. The catch? Curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. 2 things dramatically improve that. Black pepper, specifically a compound called piperine, and fat. That's why the classic golden milk latte works well. Warm milk or plant milk, a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a healthy fat like coconut oil or whole milk. About a teaspoon of turmeric per day in cooking is a reasonable goal. Stir it into soups, scrambled eggs, roasted vegetables. It has a mild, earthy flavor that blends easily. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. Pick your favorite because they're all stars. Berries are rich in anthocyanins, flavonoids that give them their deep colors and that have been shown to reduce markers of inflammation in the blood. They're also packed with vitamin C and polyphenols that support immune function and protect cells from oxidative damage, which is closely linked to chronic inflammation. Half a cup to a cup of mixed berries per day is ideal. Frozen berries are just as nutritious as fresh and much more economical year-round. Add them to oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or just eat them as a snack. One of the easiest upgrades you can make. Extra virgin olive oil is a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, one of the most studied dietary patterns for longevity and disease prevention. It's rich in monounsaturated fats and contains a compound called oleocanthal, which works similarly to ibuprofen in the body by inhibiting the same inflammatory enzymes. 2 to 4 tablespoons per day is a common recommendation. Use it for low to medium heat cooking. Drizzle it over salads, roasted vegetables, or soup. Extra virgin is the key. It retains far more of the beneficial compounds than refined olive oil. Look for dark glass bottles, which protect it from light degradation. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula, collard greens. These are nutritional powerhouses. They're rich in vitamin K, folate, and a wide range of antioxidants that help neutralize the free radicals that drive inflammation. Aim for at least 2 cups of leafy greens per day. Raw in a salad, wilted into pasta, blended into a smoothie. Greens are incredibly versatile. If the taste of raw kale isn't your thing, sauté it with garlic and olive oil. The flavor mellows significantly with heat. Walnuts are unique among nuts because they're one of the few plant sources of ALA, the plant-based form of omega-3 fatty acids. They're also rich in polyphenols that have been shown to reduce inflammatory markers. A small handful, about an ounce or roughly 14 walnut halves, per day is all you need. They make a great snack on their own, but also add great texture to oatmeal, salads, or yogurt. Keep them in the fridge or freezer to prevent the fats from going rancid. Fresh ginger contains gingerols and shogols, compounds that have demonstrated anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects in numerous studies. It's been used for centuries to ease joint pain and digestive inflammation, and the science supports its reputation. A teaspoon of fresh grated ginger in hot water with a bit of honey makes a simple anti-inflammatory tea. You can also add it to stir-fries, soups, smoothies, or salad dressings. If fresh ginger isn't accessible, ground ginger still delivers benefits. About a quarter teaspoon is equivalent to a teaspoon of fresh. Green tea is rich in a catechin called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, which is one of the most potent antioxidants found in any food or beverage. It's been linked to reduced inflammation, improved brain health, and even a lower risk of certain cancers and cardiovascular disease. 2 to 3 cups per day captures most of the benefit. Drink it in the morning or early afternoon to avoid caffeine interfering with sleep. If you're sensitive to caffeine, matcha has a higher EGCG content, but also more caffeine. Decaffeinated green tea retains some but not all of its benefits. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, similar to olive oil, along with vitamin E, magnesium, and a variety of carotenoids. Studies have shown that eating avocado can actually reduce the inflammatory response to other foods when eaten in the same meal, a pretty remarkable effect. Half an avocado per day is a practical goal. On toast, sliced onto a salad, blended into a smoothie for creaminess, avocados are easy to incorporate. If you're watching calories, note that they're calorie-dense, but those are calories that come loaded with nutrients and healthy fats. Tomatoes round out our list, and their star compound is lycopene, a carotenoid with powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Lycopene is particularly associated with reduced risk of prostate cancer and cardiovascular disease. Here's the interesting part. Cooking tomatoes actually increases the bioavailability of lycopene. Tomato paste, canned tomatoes, and cooked tomato sauce are more beneficial in this regard than raw tomatoes, though raw tomatoes still provide vitamin C and other nutrients. A few tablespoons of tomato paste or half a cup of cooked tomatoes several times a week is a great target. Pair them with olive oil to further improve lycopene absorption. Take a look at this list and you'll notice something. These aren't exotic superfoods you have to hunt down at specialty stores. Most of them are already familiar, affordable, and easy to cook with. The goal isn't to eat all 10 every single day. It's to build a dietary pattern where most of them show up regularly throughout your week. A bowl of oatmeal with walnuts and blueberries. Salmon with roasted spinach and tomatoes drizzled with olive oil. A cup of green tea. Ginger in your stir-fry. Turmeric in your scrambled eggs. These are small, sustainable choices that compound into meaningful changes over months and years. And remember, food is medicine, but it works best as part of a broader lifestyle. Sleep, movement, stress management, and regular medical care are all part of the picture. Your doctor and a registered dietitian can help you tailor this to your specific health situation. Which of these 10 foods is already a regular part of your diet? And which one are you going to add this week? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely love hearing how people apply this kind of information. If you found this useful, a like goes a long way in helping us reach more people who could benefit from this. And if you're not already subscribed to VitalEdge Life, join us. We publish new content every week focused on practical, evidence-based health information for people over 50. We'll see you in the next one.